Picture Arizona. Go ahead, close your eyes and see it. You are almost certainly seeing cactus, red dirt, and a sun so brutal it could fry an egg on the hood of your car. Now picture standing in that exact same state in the middle of July and pulling on a sweater, because last night it dipped into the 50s. You are under a forest of ponderosa pines taller than anything back east. There is a cool lake in front of you, and up on the peak above town, tucked into the shadows, there is still a little snow that never quite melted. That is also Arizona, and almost nobody planning a move there has any idea it exists. Here is the thing the brochures and the memes never tell you. Arizona is not one place. Down in Phoenix and Tucson, yes, the summer is a furnace, and that reputation has swallowed the entire state whole in people's minds. But Arizona is enormous, and it rises. It climbs from the low desert up to mountains that hold pine forests, 4 real seasons and summers milder than a lot of the country. There are whole towns up there where people spend July in long sleeves, where the leaves actually change in the fall, and where you can ski in the winter. In Arizona. This video is 8 of those towns, the cool, green, 4-season Arizona that breaks every single myth about the state. And I am going to give you both halves on every one, the way I always do. The real reason it is wonderful, and the honest catch, because a place with the downside hidden is just a trap with a nice view. But first, the one fact that makes all of this possible, because once you understand it, you will see Arizona completely differently. It is elevation. In the desert Southwest, going up is the same as going north. Every 1,000 feet you climb knocks roughly 3 to 5 degrees off the temperature. So a town sitting at 7,000 feet, while Phoenix bakes at 115, might be sitting in a pleasant, breezy 80s with pine trees and a creek. Same state, same afternoon, a completely different world, just because the land went up. The desert is only the ground floor. Almost nobody bothers to take the elevator. So let us go up. Number 8. Number 8, Sierra Vista. We start gently in the high desert grassland of the southeast because Sierra Vista is the easiest myth to break. It sits at around 4,600 feet, and that modest elevation does something remarkable. It gives Sierra Vista arguably the mildest year-round climate of any town in the entire state. Summers hover in the pleasant low 90s, while Phoenix is well past 110. Winters are gentle and sunny. It rarely gets truly cold, and it never gets truly brutal. It is spring, more or less, all year long. And it is not the empty desert you would picture. There is a real hospital in town, thanks to the military base, some of the best birding in all of North America right at the edge of the city, and a genuine community. For a place this comfortable, the homes are strikingly affordable, often hovering right around $200,000. The honest catch. That gentle elevation comes with wind, real, steady wind that whips across the high plain, and some people never make their peace with it. And you are about 90 minutes from Tucson for anything a small city cannot provide. But if the thing keeping you out of Arizona was the heat, Sierra Vista quietly erased that objection before you ever finished making it. Number 7, Bisbee. Now we climb higher, and we get strange in the best possible way. Bisbee sits tucked into the Mule Mountains in the far southeast at around a mile high, 5,300 feet. And because it is a mile up, its summers are genuinely comfortable while the desert below is punishing. But Bisbee is not on this list only for its climate. It is here because it is one of the most unexpected towns in America. This was a booming copper mining town over a century ago, and when the mining wound down, something wonderful happened. Artists, writers, and characters of every kind moved into the beautiful old buildings, clinging to the steep canyon walls, and they never left. So today, Bisbee is this walkable, vertical, colorful maze of historic homes, galleries, cafes, and staircases carved into the hillside at an elevation that keeps the whole thing cool. It looks and feels like nowhere else in the state. The honest catch: Bisbee is quirky and it knows it. So if you want a quiet, conventional suburban life, this is not your town. The houses are old and often built on steep ground, which means stairs, lots of them. Something to think hard about for your later years. And the town is small, so serious medical care means a drive. But for the right person, Bisbee is a cool, artistic, mile-high original that most people never even knew was in Arizona. Number 6. Sedona. You have heard of Sedona. Everybody has. The towering red rock cliffs are on 1,000 postcards. But here is what the postcards never mention, and it is the reason Sedona belongs on this specific list: the climate. Sitting at around 4,500 feet, Sedona has 4 genuinely mild seasons. Summers are warm but far softer than the low desert, and winters are cool and crisp with only the occasional dusting of snow that makes those red rocks look absolutely unreal. So the thing everyone comes to Sedona for is the scenery. But the thing that would actually make you happy living there is the weather. A comfortable 4-season climate wrapped in some of the most beautiful landscape on the planet. Green junipers and cypress against red stone against blue sky. The honest catch, and it is a big one: Sedona's beauty is world famous, which means 2 things. It is expensive, genuinely expensive, among the priciest places in the state. And it is busy. The tourists who fill those postcards fill the roads too, especially on weekends. You are paying a premium in both money and traffic for one of the most gorgeous settings in America. But nobody who lives there is sweating through a desert summer, and that surprises people every time. Number 5. Prescott. Now we reach the heart of cool green Arizona, and Prescott may be its perfect example. It sits at about 5,400 feet, ringed by the largest stand of ponderosa pine forest on Earth. And it has 4 real, distinct, gentle seasons. Warm, pine-scented summers, a genuine autumn, a light dusting of winter snow, and a soft spring. Locals have a saying that Prescott has everybody's hometown weather, and they are not wrong. It is a real town, too, with a historic courthouse square, a walkable downtown, lakes and trails right outside the door, and a deep sense of community. For a lot of people, Prescott is the answer to a question they did not know how to ask. Where in Arizona can I have all 4 seasons, pine trees, and a real town without freezing? The honest catch: Prescott's secret is very much out, so it has grown fast and prices have climbed with it. And like a lot of that beautiful high pine country, it sits in wildfire terrain, which is worth understanding before you buy. But few places in the state deliver the 4-season pine forest life as completely as Prescott does. Number 4. Payson. Straight up the middle of the state, about 90 minutes from Phoenix, sits Payson, and Payson is where the myth of the desert really shatters, because it sits at around 5,000 feet inside the largest continuous ponderosa pine forest on the planet. Summers here settle into the pleasant 80s, while the valley below cooks past 110. So on the worst afternoon of a Phoenix summer, people simply drive 90 minutes up the hill and step into cool, green, pine-scented air. It feels like teleporting to a different country. Payson has creeks, waterfalls, trout fishing, and hiking in every direction. And it has just enough town to give you groceries, doctors, and the basics without the sprawl. It is the classic Arizona escape, and a lot of people who came up just to cool off ended up buying a home and staying. The honest catch: that gorgeous forest that makes Payson so cool is also the reason it carries real wildfire risk, and that shapes both your peace of mind and your insurance, so go in with your eyes open. And winter nights do get cold with the occasional snow, But if your dream was pine trees and cool summers, Payson is that dream, sitting an easy drive from a major airport. Number 3. The White Mountains. Sholo and Pinetop Lakeside. Now we go up into the northeast, into a region so green and so cool that first-time visitors genuinely cannot believe they are still in Arizona. Sholo and the neighboring towns of Pinetop and Lakeside sit up around 6,400 to 7,000 feet in the White Mountains. And this is a land of tall pines, mountain meadows, and actual lakes, plural, lakes in Arizona. Up here, the summers are cool and glorious in the 70s, and this whole area becomes the summer refuge for half of Phoenix. People who own a cabin in the pines specifically to escape the heat. The air smells like a forest, the fishing is real, and the pace is slow in the way people dream about. The honest catch, and it is the trade for all that green. Winter is real up here. Genuine snow, genuine cold, and you will own a shovel and know how to use it. And it is remote, so a big city and a major hospital are a real drive away. But if somebody told you that you could not have cool pine forest, mountain lakes, and 4 true seasons in Arizona, the White Mountains are the living proof that they were wrong. Number 2. Greer and Alpine. We are near the very top now, both in elevation and in how completely this breaks the desert myth. The tiny mountain villages of Greer and Alpine sit above 8,000 feet, up in the eastern high country near the New Mexico line. And this is genuine Alpine Arizona. We are talking spruce and fir forests, meadows full of summer wildflowers, cold, clear trout streams, and some of the coolest summer temperatures in the entire state. While Phoenix suffers, Greer is sitting in the 60s and 70s with a light jacket in the evening. This is the Arizona of log cabins and wood smoke, of elk in the meadow at dawn, a landscape that looks far more like Colorado or Montana than anything anyone pictures when they hear the word Arizona. The honest catch is simple and serious. This is remote, high, small mountain living. Winters are long, snowy, and genuinely cold. Services are minimal, and you are a long way from a city. This is not a place for everyone, and it is not a place to land without visiting first. But as living proof that Arizona holds a cold, green, alpine world at the top of its mountains, Greer and Alpine are almost unbelievable. And before the number 1 town, the single most important thing to understand about all of this, because it changes how you should think about the entire state. Every one of these towns exists because Arizona is built like a staircase. The low desert is only the bottom step. And that staircase gives you something almost no other state can: the ability to choose your climate by choosing your elevation. If you want warm winters and you can handle a hot summer, you stay low. If you want mild all year, you go to the middle, to a Sierra Vista or a Sedona. If you want 4 true seasons and pine forests, you go higher, to a Prescott or a Payson. And if you want cool, green mountain summers and snowy winters, you go to the top, to the White Mountains or Greer. One state, almost every climate in America stacked on top of each other, an hour or 2 apart. That is the thing the heat memes completely hide, and it is genuinely one of the most remarkable things about living in Arizona. And if this is opening your eyes a little, a quick like helps me show it to the people who wrote the whole state off, which is the only reason I mention it. Number 1. Flagstaff. If there is one town that destroys the desert myth completely, it is Flagstaff. Because Flagstaff sits at around 7,000 feet in the largest contiguous ponderosa pine forest in the world, right at the base of the tallest mountains in Arizona. And it does the one thing that breaks every brain that pictures Arizona as a desert. It has a ski resort. Let that sit for a second. You can spend a January morning skiing on a real mountain, in deep snow in Arizona. Flagstaff gets genuine 4-season weather, cool green summers in the 70s while Phoenix melts, a spectacular autumn, and real snowy winters. It is a vibrant college town with a beautiful historic downtown, a serious hospital, an airport, and a young, energetic feel wrapped around all that mountain beauty. It is Route 66 and pine forests and the San Francisco peaks towering over everything. It is, for a huge number of people, the single most beautiful place to live in the state, and it could not be less like the postcard of Arizona. The honest catch, because even paradise has one. Flagstaff is not cheap. Its beauty and its desirability have made it one of the more expensive places in Arizona. And that winter is real, so you had better actually want snow, not just tolerate it. But if you have spent your whole life believing Arizona was nothing but scorching sand, Flagstaff is the town that proves how wrong that picture always was. So now look back at all 8. Sierra Vista in its endless spring, Bisbee a mile up, Sedona in the red rocks, Prescott and Payson deep in the pines, the White Mountains and their lakes, Greer up in the Alpine, and Flagstaff with its ski resort at 7,000 feet. None of them is the Arizona you were sold. All of them are real. And here is what I want you to take from this, whether you ever set foot in any of these towns or not. The reputation of a place, the thing everybody just knows about it, is almost never the whole truth. Arizona got branded as a furnace, and that single word hit a dozen cool, green, 4-season worlds from millions of people who might have loved living in them. The lesson is the same one this whole channel keeps coming back to. Do not buy the reputation. Go up the staircase. Look for yourself. If this changed your picture of the state even a little, subscribe, because I am doing the exact same thing next for the state everyone assumes is perfect, finding the surprising, hidden corners that the reputation completely hides. Bring your open mind. That is where we go next.